Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We're actually doing Blades in the Dark again. I know it's been a long time.
I thought this was Dungeon World.
Oh my god. If only. Give that another couple months and then we'll come back to Dungeon World too, okay? Don't worry, Logan. We're watching out for you. We're just giving you more time to come up with a good plot and everything. And then we've got to rope John back into this somehow, kicking and screaming along the way. But yes, we're back to Blades in the Dark. It has been a little while, so I understand if you have no idea what's going on, because neither do we. No, I do know what's going on, luckily. And I'm guess the most important one, because I'll be jamming, and my name is Sean, if you don't know by now. These are my lovely players, Abby, Logan, and Sarah. And we're just going to hop right in. Last session, we finished up and we didn't go through downtime. So we kind of just did downtime earlier off screen. Sometimes it's just a little boring. A lot of it's numbers and figuring stuff out. So we kind of skipped that, but I'll give a quick rundown right after I remind everyone what our score was. So last week, we had an art heist. The Hive had recently talked to y'all, as well as the Wraiths, and both been like, Foxfire's getting a little stronger, a little more, kind of competent, basically. Y'all are raking in a little bit of money, so now we want to start seeing results.
I don't know that competent is the right word.
You're getting things done, so that's something.
Yeah.
So the Hive specifically, who was your original kind of patron, asked you to mess with the Wraiths, who is kind of the double agent faction that you're trying to subvert. And then the Wraiths were like, you're on our territory, so you owe us some payouts eventually. And in regards to all that, y'all ended up kind of messing with a Wraith drop where they were trying to get rid of an item through a rigged art auction. And it went pretty good. It took us a while to get there, but the rolls were pretty solid until the very end, where Duchess took a turn for the worst and unfortunately had a low resistance roll and filled up her stress bar and has acquired her first trauma, which I believe is obsessed. Correct, Logan?
I am obsessed now.
What are you obsessed with?
I have recently, this whole Foxfire gaining standing has reminded Duchess that she really needs to gain standing as well. And so now she's obsessed with improving her position among the nobility. People not recognizing her at the auction really upset her. The way she was able to easily pass off as a completely different noble irked her. So now she has been obsessed with, or she's become obsessed with herself.
Herself and her standing. Okay, so now we have two people with trauma, which is both Duchess and Echo.
And I just realized we didn't indulge my vice in the off time.
Oh, yes. And so once you have a trauma, you have to indulge your vice, or else you take stress equal to the amount of trauma you have. So you could ignore it and just take one stress.
I would like to not do that.
Okay, so I think you did training. Are you going to take that back?
I'm going to take the training back, and then I'm going to indulge the vice.
Sounds like a good plan.
We'll indulge that vice real quick.
We'll indulge that vice real quick. I mean, my vice is kind of like training anyway, since I go see lots of fights. So
yeah, she does. She bets on the fights. All right, okay. So
Jules.
Clear 5 stress.
Oh, so good.
Okay, good. Hopefully you're nice and low now for our next score. Yeah. And for our downtime, pretty simple. We just did heat and payout real fast. And then the most interesting thing is entanglements. And they rolled on a very fun one, which is a demon contacts the gang. So we're going to hold off on that for a little bit. But I think a mysterious sort of totem appears in front of y'all's little hideaway. Not a He Who Walks in Darkness totem, as
we're like, Sylph!
Sylph can recognize, but a different sort of strange statuette appears as a warning. And we'll see where that leads in a little bit, hopefully. Maybe next session. Other than that, it's pretty simple stuff. Some downtimes. Duchess finally got her devil's whiskey bottle, which allows her to pretend to pour something else. Let you pour something else while you're pretending to pour whiskey.
Yes, and essentially I've just combined it with my vial of slumber essence. So now it is whiskey forever moving forward. And I can there's a little valve and I can control which side it comes out of.
Right, yes. All right, perfect. So, let's see. I guess we'll dive right in. Sylph had she just got back from her overindulgence, where she was sort of kept hostage on the party barge.
It's not hostage if you want to be there, Sean.
Favorite, he who walks in darkness.
Who wouldn't want to be on the party barge?
Only one person. So
I'd very much like to not be on the party barge.
The majority wants to be on that party barge.
I guess that's your decision, but you're missing out.
Okay, so I think y'all maybe come back from that heist a little worse for wear, and you find Sylph back at the hideout. Or do you think maybe she would go see Roslyn? Or
no, so I was thinking about this. I think that he who walks in darkness is actually not good for her, even though she likes it, right? It's a vice. So
I am shocked.
Kel surprise.
No, but I think that he who walks in darkness, his whole thing is like that you should stay in the shadows and not be seen and like all this stuff. So I think her like Taikarosi features have gotten slightly worse, which is definitely not good. And also she's just like foregone like the eye patch that she used to wear, and she's like just not hiding anything anymore. Like she can hide her whole self instead of hiding individual features now.
Okay,
is how she feels.
So you think she's sort of like staying out of the public? She's like interacting with people even less?
Right. Yeah.
Sort of to hide herself? Okay. All right. Okay, then I think, let's see. Y'all were kind of...
I'm just imagining us being like spooked by Sylph appearing like out of nowhere now. We're just like, huh! I didn't know you were there.
Sylph has appeared. I think you collected your payout from the hive just at a preordained drop. So that's where you kind of got your money. And a little kind of good job note from Kellier, who talked to Duchess earlier. And a little kind of like, we'll keep watching your progress, though, sort of thing. And then I think maybe it's been a little while since Sylph, at least, has been by the Muse and the Sirens, and maybe we should pay a little visit to our friends down there and see what's going on.
Okay.
We've gotten... so I think when y'all kind of are walking through night market this time, there's definitely a lot of tension in the air. So we talked about how kind of, at first people were a little shaken up with this kind of turf war, and then it had gotten a little better once y'all were working on things and helping the Sirens out. But now it's quiet. Normally night market is loud. There's people, yelling for goods and services, and all sorts of people going around, going to parties, buying things, sandwiches everywhere, carts and carriages kind of trundling through the roadways. But as you're going through, you see it's turned very much into a bit of a ghost town, and this sort of quiet darkness of Doskvol has descended on what is normally one of the loudest and brightest parts of the city. And then kind of as you get to Muse, you see it does not look open, and in fact there's like a group of 4 different guards standing outside of it themselves, who you've never seen before, and you don't normally they don't really look like they're part of the siren group. And so one of them kind of sees the 3 of y'all walking over and says, "Hey, it's closed. Go shove off somewhere else."
Well, you heard him, ladies. Looks like we can't go to Muse this time. What a tragedy. Looks like we'll have to go somewhere else.
And I'm like, but where else has eel's breath? I don't understand.
I think you see one of like a window, like a drape is kind of peeked back, and someone peeks out, and an eye widens, and then suddenly the door opens from behind these guards, and you see Rain, and she's like, "Sylph, you're here! Come on, guys, get out the way! What the hell are you doing? They work for us, or with us, I should say."
Hair toss. I feel like I take Sylph's arm and I'm like, ha. Stride in.
And Rain looks a little stressed, like a little kind of, her face is kind of drawn and a little haggard compared to how she's normally very carefree and sort of glowing with energy, but not so much at the moment.
Rain, dear, you look a little stressed. Your face is so haggard. What's wrong?
Well, so this thing with the foghounds has gotten a little more tense, but I'm very glad you decided to stop by. Amaris has really needed to talk to y'all, and you're not actually easy to find all the time. I think there's a big job for you. The foghounds recently found a way, we're not even sure how, but they basically muscled out our normal suppliers for all of our goods. And I mean, we did kind of take most of their turf, so things are a little sketchy right now. And I can't perform like I normally do, which is always heartbreaking. But I think they finally got some good information about that from that kid that you brought in the other day, as well as from the lockbox that y'all acquired for us too. And on hearing Rain talk to someone, Amaris comes out the back, and she's even got like her hand on a weapon, like worried for a half second. And she also looks pretty stressed out. Her eyes are a little crazy. Her hair is a little like frazzled and messed up. And then she breathes a deep sigh of relief seeing y'all. She's like, "Oh my gosh, thanks. Thank goodness
I would
it's just
breathe
y'all."
a sigh of relief seeing us too. The girl gang is here.
The girl gang is here, and you are not a threat, apparently. And Amar says, "Rain, I need to talk to them. Please, let me come over here, guys, real quick. We have a kind of a big job, a big favor to ask." And she sort of ushers you into one of the back chambers. And very unusual. I mean, the Muse is completely silent. Normally there's patrons of at least some kind or another around and about. But the bar is not very well stocked. The stage lights are all closed. Everything looks basically shut down. And so Amaris kind of sits everyone down and is like, "Okay, guys, so we've made some progress with the foghounds, but they're kind of giving us a hard time. We can't go toe-to-toe with them like we thought. And we're getting into a little bit of a turf war, so everything's on the lowdown. We're closing up shop to try and keep things safe, and if you haven't noticed, night market's a little bit of a dead place. But we did make a breakthrough with that kid, Venus, whatever his name is, and some of the information from the lockbox. We think it has to do with Penderton. Apparently, and we're hoping this will help clear things up with the foghounds, if we can break them up. Penderton has a secret location, some sort of cottage hideaway thing. We don't know what's there, but it's obviously very important to him. We need you to get in, find what that is, and twist Penderton's arm until he gives up on the Foghounds and gets the hell out of this city. I don't care how you do it, but get rid of him. Does that sound good?
We can do that. You don't care what happens to the man.
We prefer not killing. He's high profile. It would look better if he just kind of disappeared. Hopefully whatever you find there will give you enough leverage to get rid of him. But other than that, no, not really. We just need to expose a weakness in the Foghounds. They're a little too fortified still, especially with Penderton still supplying some money. I know they've been on the outs a bit because of everything we've done, but hopefully this will at least take Penderton out of the picture completely. And this will be a big job, so I've got a lot of money in it for you.
We're all like,
Well, you know what to do. We'll await that contract.
She's already got it drawn up.
What is it? Why is this paper longer than the other ones?
What's this kissy mark at the end?
Yeah. What is this down here?
There's actually no kiss mark this time.
Oh, darn.
I will
And
comment.
it's
I was
just-
like, I see you've upgraded paper. This one's not ripped apart at the bottom. That's nice to see.
She just looks at you and is like, okay,
What?
yeah, I don't really care. I just need you to sign this or whatever it is y'all do. I don't know. Hold on to it, bring it back once the job is done. And then we'll talk about that reward.
So what, Sean, is the job down to the smallest details that we can exploit?
So, the job is go to the described location, which is a small sort of walled cottage in the area of Barrow Cleft, which I've not been to yet. Discover what Lord Penderton is hiding in that cottage and use that to either A, get rid of Penderton's influence in, well, really, yeah, get rid of Penderton's influence in Doskvol. Kind of stop him from having any more interference with the underbelly of the Doskvol world.
Can we amend the contract to just say we will stop Penderton from aiding the Foghounds?
No. They want Penderton out of the picture. Completely.
I mean, that's
I
fine
say
with
we
me.
Shanghai him and put him on a
Put him on a Leviathan hunter and take him out to sea.
Yeah. But who am I? I'm just a pirate.
I mean, we could put him on our gondola and take him out to the barge.
Oh, the party barge.
Party barge.
The party barge.
Float
You
him
could.
up.
I mean, the party barge isn't going to do anything. It's only for...
You don't know what happens in the party barge.
I don't. I know what happens everywhere, Abby. I see all. I know all.
Are you he who walks in darkness?
Yes.
Oh.
I am all of the Eldritch gods combined in this world. I am all at one time. So they think a easy bargaining chip is at this location.
Cabin thing. No.
Okay.
This cottage.
Well, okay,
Does
we'll
that
get it
sound
done.
good?
Sounds good.
Yes, you would.
Sounds like I get to be a
Alright.
farmer.
Okay, I'll rip off the bottom of our contract and be like, you can keep this, and then I'll take the paper normal sized with us.
She just shakes her head and says, good luck, and I hope we see you soon. can't take too much more of this, unfortunately. Well, we probably can, but it's not good for business. At the very least.
And I'm like, well, you can always join us, Amaris.
Yeah, if you guys
Winky
go
face.
under, we're here. There's an up-and-coming crew called Foxfire you could join.
She laughs. She is like, I appreciate the offer, but I'm pretty ride or die with this group, so it's not going under unless I go under. So you never know.
Well, make sure you add us to the will, darling, and then I'll leave.
You're at the top of the list. After literally anyone else.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can gather information, or you can try and finagle something else.
Sylph, where exactly have you been?
Oh, just around.
I mean,
What
we were
happened to
doing.
your face, girl?
Yeah.
It's always been like this.
Oh, I see why you wore that eye patch then.
Yeah.
Do you go? You probably shouldn't go out like that.
No, it's fine.
I'm like,
Okay.
you gotta tell me how to do that. That would be a great disguise.
It's like
Let
her.
me see your face.
her sort of features are noticeable, but they aren't so unusual that you would be like stopped on the street. Like people would see it and be like, "Oh, she's Taikarosi," which is unusual, but not like criminal or anything.
Right.
So she can go on out in the street like that. It's just more noticeable.
I still like poke at her face, and I'm like,
Ow,
but how?
Stop.
Okay,
So
and
cool.
so the cottage that they've mentioned is located in Barrow Cleft, and that is sort of a farming-esque community located within Doskvol, and they tend to be sort of the farms that are fed by like electric lights, basically, by sort of the spark craft, and I forget what the actual name is for it. There's a technology where they kind of feed the Leviathan blood. Yeah, it's like ether sort of thing. They feed sort of the plasma, the magical plasma, and they can hook it up to like plants and animals and stuff, and it makes them glow with a light that is as allows other things to grow. So it's kind of this network of living bioluminescent plants, and then the crops that are grown under it. All of which is watched pretty heavily by the city guard, special members of the city guard, because this is one of the sole sources of like grains and things you can grow.
By the Bluecoats, or is this a separate group?
It's by the Bluecoats and also by the Ministry of Preservation, which is a special governmental sector that deals entirely with food and food distribution and stuff. Most of the things grown here go to the wealthier members of society because it's expensive and it's very low yield. But every now and then some of it might trickle down to the lower caste. But it's still very much like this is not for everyone. But it is heavily controlled and watched. And then the people of Barrowcleft are basically the farmers that live there. And so it's kind of an oddly rural and sort of pastoral area within the confines of the city, marked by a couple giant spark towers, making the spark wall that defends Doskvol, because they are right on the edge. And it's also known for having a really good just market for goods and services. Not a lot of criminal activity normally in this area.
Is it a pretty would it be weird for there to ever be a noble there? Is that like even just walking through?
It would be unusual because a noble would probably just have someone else get the goods from Barrowclef and then bring them to them. So yeah, I mean a noble would not normally visit. It is still like considered lower class, lower income, lower class, because they are just laborers. And so then the sort of cottage, they give you the sirens give you a basic description, and so it's a two-story, what looks like a two-story cottage behind a brick wall, basically, that is then also laced with, it looks like, sort of sparkcraft defenses, as well as kind of it's got some of its own. It's very unassuming, other than the fact that it does have sort of advanced defenses, and it only has one main entrance through the wall, which is an iron gate. And then the kind of a small set of grounds behind that, as well as the cottage itself. So it is kind of unusual in that it's like a private residence.
So we don't know exactly where it is in Barrowclef, but we do know what it looks like.
You know where it is. You could.
Okay.
Finding it is not hard.
Okay.
But you don't know much information about it.
Can I go to? Does the ministry have like a office building in Charter Hall or somewhere?
Yeah, they have plenty of offices.
Okay.
Because they manage all the distribution within Doskvol and within the Empire. Like the Ministry of Preservation is like an order within the Empire.
But like it does have like a headquarters that I could go to.
Yeah, it's going to have offices that handle, different goings-ons.
Okay. This will be sort of like a gathering information. I want to go to that and sort of present myself as somebody who's like looking to invest in like an estate in Barrowclef, maybe like, I don't know, something like that. I'm just trying to get a map, maybe have them like walk me through like some of the areas. And like I really just want to see it from above and maybe like take the map with me so I can, once we identify which cottage it is, like look at the surrounding area.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's fairly easy. Yeah. Let's see. They might not walk you through the area.
I don't want to go to the area. It's just like sitting on their desk looking at the map. Like
yeah. They definitely. Okay. So yeah. So you kind of go up to a clerk, and the clerk is like, "Oh, I mean, sure. It's not really. We don't really own all the property in Barrowclef. We really just manage the farming stuff. But I can show you kind of what is off limits from the Ministry of Preservation, and then potential areas we've thought about expanding to, which might not be great to be close to." So he pulls out a map, and he basically, it's pretty easy to see that there's more or less like the farming segments are very like self-contained cells, sort of. I mean, they're guarded with walls and defenses, basically. They're pretty valuable resources. And he says, generally, there's one main road that goes through Barrowclef up north, because Barrowclef is in the southwest side of Doskvol. And so this main road sort of splits the residential area of Barrowclef, and then on the right side of that is a little bit of housing for some of the laborers that need to stay close by. That's then connected to the farming sections, which of course you wouldn't be allowed to own anything in or near there. And I'd probably recommend, if most people looking for a plot of land for sort of an escape away from home, kind of winks at you, wouldn't want to be close to the farming. So anything like that would be on the left turns, or the left hand side of that.
I'll say something along the lines of like, one of my friends was telling me Lord Penderton had a property, and I should look at right next to his because apparently it's in a great location. Could you show me. Do you know which one is his?
He does not know.
Okay.
It is a secret location.
It's a secret location. Okay. We can pause this. I have another question for him that would only make sense if I asked it after I knew which one was his cottage.
You know where the cottage is.
Oh, like I could look at the map and be like...
No one knows who owns the cottage necessarily.
Got it.
Like, he is not going to have a deed rights or whatever, you know.
Okay.
He's not going to have the deed for that area.
Okay.
So you could point it, like if you looked at a map, you'd probably be able to locate it.
Okay. But he wouldn't be able to tell me anything about it.
But he would be like, yeah, sure. I mean, someone owns a building there.
Okay.
I can know that much.
Well, I'll just take the map and leave then. Is he going to let me take the map?
Probably not. Not unless you compensate him somehow.
Can I study it and try and memorize it real quick?
Yeah,
like during
definitely.
This whole situation.
I think it's easy enough for you to memorize.
Okay.
The surrounding area.
Okay.
You're a competent
I'm an astute
scoundrel.
woman. Okay.
Yeah, you're an astute woman. I imagine you study it really quickly and then pull out just a scrap of paper and then sketch it out real fast so that you don't forget.
Okay. Well, that's all I have from that. I didn't get very much, but maybe if one of you gets something, I can play off of it.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the location.
Okay.
And this will be a prowl, so I'm just gonna go to the location and scope it out. And kind of I would climb up on the building if I can, if it's safe to do so, and scope out any wards maybe, but make sure I'm being really sneaky and see if there's any guards or patrols or anything. So the questions I'm trying to find out answers for is what should we be on the lookout for, and then where can we hide here, because we already know the best way in, right, is through the Iron Gate.
That's the only one that you know of at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so there might be others,
and
but
I'll scope out the lock on that too while I'm there.
Okay, so you go to the location. So I think you're gonna need to roll prowl for that, because I think there is obstacles.
Yeah.
It is a watched location.
Yep. Does the effect and stuff matter?
No, not. Yeah, I have to set it if we're gonna make you roll an action roll. Let's say, how about roll prowl, and we'll use that as your fortune roll for the.
Okay, I'll just roll 2 for 4. 6.
Oh, 6.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So, you are able to kind of skirt around the edges of the kind of buildings next to it. It is sort of sequestered off, it's not directly next to a lot of other buildings, and it's got that wall which is about probably 10 feet high, and then on top of that you can see sort of sparkcraft antenna sticking up, and you can see little arcs of electricity flowing through them as you go around. That also seems to be attached to the iron gate. So the gate is also electrified. And looking at the sort of lock there, you see it's a pretty basic lock. It's nothing crazy for the lock itself. But like I said, the whole thing is electrified. And then did you say you wanted to climb the wall?
I mean, not if it's electrified.
I was going to say it is electrified. You could probably, I think seeing that it's electrified, you try to maybe climb a nearby building to see, and it's not going to be a great view, but you can tell there are the cottage just looks very basic. You see like a couple figures tending the garden and occasionally going in and out. But other than that, you don't really see much of anything. And you have noticed there seems to be like a reoccurring set of people who kind of just like rotate by the house as if they're on like some sort of patrol, kind of going. They don't like go up to the property, but they kind of hang around in the nearby area to keep an eye on if anything is happening.
Okay.
I think.
How far of a jump would it be from like one roof to the cottage roof?
Not possible.
I mean, I can perform a feat of athletics that verges on the superhuman, so.
I think you could make it. Well, so there's still space within the cottage from the wall. So I think you could get over the wall, or don't think you could get from a
to the roof.
Unless you did like a grappling hook type thing, and even that might be iffy.
Cool.
Okay, I have an idea. Are you satisfied? Okay. I'm a scav in need of a job. And what better than an immigrant to help farm for the big city? And so I am going to be a very disheveled and earnest scav who's seeking employment, not at the house, not at the cottage, but at one of the neighboring properties.
Okay, so, so it doesn't quite work like that. So if you were looking for a job farming, that would actually be with the Ministry of Preservation.
Okay.
So the people who live there are all laborers. They don't really have their own farms. They're like, they're like serfs. Yeah, tenant farmers, basically.
Do they live? Basically, what I want is to have like, I want to be implanted and be able to observe the property like while I do what I'm doing.
Yeah. I don't. You could. I mean, you could just survey the. You could just survey the property for a little while.
Okay.
But if you wanted to do something with the people, they. You might. I don't think you could do that from like a farming. I don't think that would get you what you want. If you wanted to like talk to, you wanted to like be in the market and talk to people, or like, or if you wanted to get the farming job to then like be able to talk to the farmers. But the farming, so the property, sorry, is not close to the actual farm. Is not super close. It's actually closer to like the electric fields, sort of. So it would be like the electric fields, one strip of properties, and then the one we're talking about is.
But could I be like a domestic or something in a neighboring house, like, you know, a noble's house, home away from home kind of a thing? I mean, I can go to the market and I could talk to people earnestly.
Yeah, you could be another kind of work hand at another noble's property.
Yeah.
Do you want
so like I think I'm gonna talk to Duchess and I'm gonna be like, who's around this house? Because I'm gonna assume that Penderton's not gonna hire whoever to like just come and live in it, like to work in his house. And I'm gonna identify like the most likely location off of that map that's like next to Penderton's cottage. And I'm gonna go to the market and try to see if I can identify who works there and get a job with them.
Okay, so you're trying to like implant yourself.
That's
okay,
the plan.
This is complicated.
Or
so what are you trying to find out?
So I want to have that job so that I can watch the house. Like I can basically be seeing the house all the time. And
Okay,
like
so
and
let's.
giving people like a point of entry that is like maybe not
Okay,
the Iron Gate.
so I think getting hired. I'm gonna. I think getting hired's fairly easy. You know, between you and Duchess, you can kind of ring something together where you kind of maybe take another servant's place for a
Maybe
little
I'm
while.
pregnant and I need to like get away from from the nobleman in the city who got me
Oh God,
pregnant,
now
and
she's
Duchess is
pregnant.
like getting me out of, helping me by getting me out of the
Right,
way.
moving you to the countryside of the city.
This is
Correct.
my husband's maiden, and I need her and her baby to not be on the scene
Right,
anymore.
exactly.
Correct. That's what's happening.
So you kind of pull some strings and are put in a little house. You're gonna have to roll a survey for that.
Ooh,
This is the
so
thing, because
can I
you're not
study?
getting information by swaying, you're getting it by survey. Yes, I will let you study.
Okay.
So you just while away the hours in your room staring.
Just like cleaning the windows.
So overwrought with your situation.
I know. It's very distressing. Okay. So I'm gonna push myself.
It's
Can
a
I push
fortune
myself?
roll, so I
Dang
don't
it.
think you can push yourself.
Alright, fine.
But that
It's a
means
fortune
there are
roll.
no consequences, which is a
There are
good
no
thing.
consequences.
Which is a good thing. Okay, so study, I get 1 die. Yay!
Yes.
Come on!
Give me that die roll.
Big money. 3.
3. So, a quick reminder, since it's been so long, 1 through 3 is not great.
It's not
4
great.
and 5 is okay, and 6 is very good. Well, double sixes is the best, but 6 is good. So, you have your spot, and you're very distraught. You're a little distracted because you have to keep up this act basically the whole time while you're trying to do this. And I think all that you really glean from this is that basically every couple of days, a sort of shipment is dropped off at the front of the household, and it just looks like basic goods, basic food goods and stuff, and basic needs. And a lady comes out and picks it up and brings it in. You can see, lights on inside, so there's definitely someone who lives there, people who live there, and then um, every now and then it gets visited by um, someone who comes by with like a carriage
Hmm.
with a pretty fine looking carriage.
I have great ideas.
Okay. Well, but I just want to ask, can I, while I'm studying, I have made like a little gondola. Like, am I near a canal? Can I like park my gondola somewhere?
um I don't know. How about you roll a fortune roll? It's a
Okay.
straight 1D, and let's see.
1D for gondola. Can I have my gondola nearby? My safety gondola?
Yes. So this house is specifically located near the kind of a small sort of entry,
I mean,
a small
Barrel
sort of
Cliff
water.
only has one like giant canal through it, and that's it.
It only has one large waterway, yeah. So it's sort of this is just a small sort of like irrigation system almost.
Yeah.
It's not like a large thing, but it would get you away. It would be kind of unusual to have a boat in it, but I think you could find a way to hide it.
I got a lot of time.
Yes.
Disguise
What
yourself
are your
and then
ideas?
disguise your
While you're
gondola.
trying to study. This is why you didn't do so good on the studies, because you were also trying to manage your gondola.
It's you know,
You had so many
I
different.
secured us a base location and a cover story.
All right. Does anyone want to gather a little bit more information?
I sort of do,
Okay.
but I want to talk to the group. So this is sort of leading into the engagement role. I have two ideas, and it's going to determine which one I do right now. We could take that food package, and I could acquire an asset to make it like when it's picked up, it like poofs a like air of like knocks the woman out, and then we can just go inside when the gate is open
Mm-hmm.
to get inside. Or I could acquire an asset and like try and get a spark craft expert to like be our asset to like help us get through the electric
Mm-hmm.
gate.
I like number 2 just because we've done basically we've done number 1 before.
Okay.
The drug delivery.
Yes. Okay. In that case, I want to go to night market and find.
So you're
I'm
going to be
gonna
acquiring an asset.
I'm gonna spend my coin to do
Okay.
another like downtime
Yeah, it's
and prep for
definitely
this.
like a downtime.
It's
Okay.
gonna be acquiring an asset, and I want it to be like maybe like a spark right gone criminal. Like I want to get the asset's gonna be a spark right expert.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so yeah, so maybe like a Sparkwright who is expelled from the school or whatever for dangerous experiments,
Yes.
and now they're kind of hawking their abilities to whoever can pay. Sure. So you're gonna acquire that asset,
and I'm going to. I don't know if we've been using this in the book on night market. You can acquire. You get a +1 to acquire at the cost of 2 stress because it's so like spooky. Which can I do that?
Yeah, each area does have unique characteristics, which I haven't been bringing up. Definitely, if you want to take advantage of it, sure.
I certainly do. And I don't know if we've been doing it right, but acquire assets just our tier, so I'll be rolling 2 rather than 1.
Yes.
I think in the past we've done like consort and stuff, but it doesn't really matter.
No, we've always rolled our tier for acquire asset. I think. I don't know.
What? Our tier's only 1 though, right?
Right, but she gets the +1 for doing 2 stress.
Right, from night market.
4.
Nice. So
okay, so it's a tier 1 expert.
Which means that he's functionally tier 2.
Yeah, so what is a 4 and a 5 are at our level?
Yes.
And so since he's an expert, it's +1?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, he's a tier 2 expert. Okay, so I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We'll keep that asset. And I think you need to... I think that kind of decided our point of entry. I think y'all just did your engagement more or less.
I'm prepping for it.
You're doing kind of like a setup action almost. Let's take a quick 10-minute break, and we will jump right in probably to the start of that score. See you in a little bit.
Yay.
Hello, thank you for joining us again. We're about to jump into this next score. We're infiltrating a mysterious cottage that seems to be of special importance to Lord Penderton. And Duchess had just acquired a new Sparkcraft assistant whose name is Alphonse, and he will be aiding them in this endeavor. This is a little dog snoot that keeps popping into view. So
he
we
wants
have
to play Alphonse.
Yeah, Alphonse the Saint Bernard. All right. So for our score, I think we just need to pick a detail and kind of a
loadout.
What style you want to do, as well as loadout.
I think, can we do stealth, and can the entry point be
over
like
the wall?
the back? Like, is there a side that's also adjacent to a canal? If the building next to it is next to a canal.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think they're both. I think the canal kind of runs through the back
Behind
of the
them,
building.
okay.
So yes, you could.
So maybe like we'll pull up the gondola and start in the back so we can get away if we need to.
Our
Sure.
very fast getaway gondola.
Yeah.
The super fast getaway gondola.
Super gondola. I feel like no one appreciates how great this gondola is.
Just you.
We haven't used it really. Other
like
than
we
like
used it
off
once.
screen.
We used it a couple times.
Yeah, we've used it some.
Mm-hmm.
We used
Not
it to
to its
get in
full
that
potential.
warehouse. That was cool.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
warehouse.
Maybe it
that's
was
what
just the warehouse. I mean,
think it
y'all
was
can
just the
build
warehouse.
plans around the gondola, I guess.
Yeah, we can make it armored here in a bit.
We'll figure it out. We'll make sure the gondola gets the
It's a
attention it
crew
deserves.
upgrade.
Oh, I see it. We actually do have it checked. Okay, yeah, let's use it then. Let's use it on every mission, no matter what. We will portage this gondola and take it through Charter Hall if need be.
Just for the benefits that it gives.
And that's why
Okay,
the
so we're
gondoliers
doing a
hate me.
stealth, and our point of infiltration is just going to be over the wall.
Over the wall.
In the
And
back.
our Sparkcraft guy is going to be getting you
Disrupting
that
the field
access.
for us.
He's basically the point of entry.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
detail. Okay, sure. And y'all's loadout, real quick?
Do normal.
I'll go heavy.
I feel like I'm gonna be normal as well.
I guess
Light.
well, no one's going to see us, so maybe heavy? Is there a negative
Anybody
to going
who
heavy?
does see us is gonna get knocked out real quick. So
Yeah. I'll take... But then I have to look like that all the way through. I'll do normal.
Okay, sure. Sarah, you said light?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just in case I want to pretend to be that girl.
sure.
My
Mhm,
cover
mhm.
identity.
So you can quickly pull out like a fake belly.
I'm
fake
gonna
pregnant
quickly
belly.
inflate my. Yeah, Sean.
Let me just
can we-
yeah. the little
I'm
like
gonna whip off the jacket that I'm wearing and shove it up my dress, and
It'll be
instant
perfect.
pregnancy.
Instant pregnancy.
Insta pregnancy. If that's how that works exactly. All right. So for our engagement roll, we get 1d for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? I don't think it's complex.
I don't know if it's bold or daring. Last time's was bold and daring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it feels particularly bold. Okay. Do you expose a vulnerability? I'm going to say no because we'll give you the second one, which is you have a friend or contact who's providing aid, basically, which is what will count.
So is that a total of
And-
+1?
Yeah. So we get 2.
2 die?
Yeah.
Do we have any negatives?
Let me see. I'm trying to think if there's a good way to incorporate him more. Because he's like a tier 2. No, I think we'll just count it. We'll just roll it all into this and count it as 1.
Okay.
And someone roll 2d.
I got it. 5.
Nice.
5. All right.
What is this nice engagement roll?
I know. Whoa.
So you're in a risky position when the action starts. Okay, so you have Alphonse. He's kind of tinkering away with a special device that'll just open up a small segment of the wall kind of fence for you. So it won't deactivate the whole fence, but it should create a barrier that y'all can
Imagine
get
it's
through.
like jumper cables and he attaches it and attaches it and it just goes
Yeah,
through
it
them
like
instead of...
circumvents.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically making a way to circumvent
What a
it.
smart guy.
Okay, and
He
so
just pretends.
okay. While this is happening, though, let's see. You can hear something sort of crunching around in the grounds inside the wall that you can't see. So you hear kind of like the grass and sort of the
Crouching is always a
gravel,
good
like
sign.
something's just kind of walking around. And I think as y'all, who's going first?
I'll go first.
Sylph.
You'll go first. Okay. So Sylph, you jump up onto this, and are you gonna just go all the way over? Or are you
No,
gonna
I'll
try and
get to the top
stand
of
on
the
the
wall.
wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so you stand on top of the wall, and you see what appears to be a figure kind of just meandering around the grounds. It's not turned towards you, but just as you get on top of the wall, Alphonse lets out a quick, like, oh shit. And then you hear and see a bright flash of sparks from where something went wrong with his little contraption. And the figure starts to slowly turn in your direction.
Classic Alphonse.
Classic Alphonse. He thought he had it under control, but he
Always
screwed
messing it up. Jeez.
So you're still safe from the wall, but this figure is about to turn around and look. And
Okay, so what's
kind of
the? How does
see.
this, like, the wall is in the back of the cottage? So what's the
Yes.
layout look like? Is like the wall and then the cottage and then the figures like on the side of the cottage?
Yeah,
if
so
I-
let's imagine it's like two just squares
Yeah.
inside of each other. So we've got square one is the wall, smaller square inside of that is the cottage.
Yes.
Y'all are at the back, so
Yes.
just say is down here. And then the guy is maybe just right at the corner. So like he was kind of doing a circle around the house and he was about to pass the corner, but right before he passed the corner.
The corner to the front.
The corner, I guess I mean the corner of the house. So he's like making his way around, not looking at you. He would have been out of view in a little bit if you'd just been, 30 seconds later, he would have been gone and around the corner and not been able to see you guys. But
How
he was
far
able to.
away is he from me?
I'd say he's about 10 feet, not super, 10, 15, not crazy far.
Okay.
I'm like, we can create a distraction. Or
Can
you
I
knock 'em out.
flash back to me? Like one of the people who works here. I want to have I don't know, got them to make sure the coast was clear for us. Like they don't know what's going on. I just wanted them to make sure no one's going to be out there, and this is them making sure that no one's out there.
Okay, so that I'll give you this information instead. You cannot do that, but I'll give you free information instead.
Okay.
There's only one person who works here that the rest of Barrow Cleft knows about. There's only
Okay.
one lady who works there,
Okay.
and she is the one that you saw like picking
Okay.
stuff up.
She's
Okay,
not
well-
this person walking around.
But she is definitely not this person walking around.
Is
Got
this
it.
person, are they armored or weaponed?
No, they're just in regular clothes, but they're walking around. It looks like they were kind of walking a little slowly, but like
Okay.
other than that, their back is to you and they're about to turn
Well,
around.
I will just jump off the wall and try to knock him out.
I mean, you could try and you could try and knock him out.
That's
I mean,
what
you
I'm
could
gonna
try
do.
and stealth.
They
No,
should
I
jump
mean,
to the building.
If
You
I knock
are-
them out, then they're out of the picture for real instead of just sneaking and then they're still in it. And they're both prowl anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to use prowl. Yeah. All right. So
Ambush with close violence.
Sylph. Using those scarves of doom.
yeah, ambush with close violence. Okay, so we'll set that as risky standard.
Okay, I'm gonna push myself. Just be sure. Should I swap position for effect? Is the question.
Always.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll do that then. So I'll make it
so we're doing
desperate.
desperate greater.
Great. So
How
they're
are you
like
making
just
it?
turning around, and I just whip my scarves out and like lunge at them. But obviously, this could go really wrong if
Yeah,
like,
you're
I
just
miss
jumping
them.
straight from the roof at them.
Yes.
Okay, definitely. Great. I mean, not the roof, the wall.
The
Yeah,
wall,
love it. Okay, roll.
Desperate. Great. +1. Okay.
Oh.
4.
Okay, so a 4. So you do it. All right. Okay, so you rush at this person, jumping off with your scarves. You're kind of maybe going to try and wrap it around their neck real quick and then see if you can knock them out, maybe by banging them against the ground too while you're at it. And I think you're able to do it. What happens is you overshoot a little bit. You're still able to grab them with the scarf and pull them down, but you also go down really hard, and you're going to take level 2 harm, sprained ankle.
Okay, I will be wearing
because you're supposed to suffer severe harm when you get a 4 or 5 on a desperate roll.
What was it? Sprained ankle?
Sprained ankle. Yeah.
So does armor reduce it or get rid of it?
Armor reduces it by 1.
Okay, and then could you also resist that 1 to reduce it down to 0?
Yes.
Theoretically, let me double check armor real quick.
Sounds like a great idea.
It's not a bad one. Harm's not great, and we've only just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need you to get us in, so.
Yeah. And even level 1, less effect, that sounds awful for the entire score.
It's all bad.
At least you don't need help.
I think less effect is actually maybe worse than -1d. Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
-1d, I mean... It doesn't matter. I still stand. Are you gonna... So you've reduced it to 1?
It to 1 because I was
Are you gonna
wearing
resist?
over ankle boots to prevent my ankles from spraining.
They've got special struts.
And then
Yeah, they're little pillows on the side.
And then I will also resist with prowess.
Okay.
And that
Nice.
takes
Only 1 stress.
Okay. This guy's knocked out.
Great. Yeah, he goes down
Perfect.
fast. Yeah, he hits his head, and it looks like he's out for the count.
Can I
It didn't even make that much noise. Like
rifle
y'all
through
still...
his pockets and see if he has anything like of note on him? Like...
Yeah, definitely. Going through his stuff real fast, you see I think just a key for the front door.
Cool.
And just kind of random bits and bobs.
Okay.
Nothing really important, like a scrap of bread, piece of cloth.
Okay, cool.
A bit of like dirt and rocks. Just random, pretty random crap.
I'll just like knock on the wall behind me and let them know it's...
After you, Echo.
Okay. I think, yeah, it's pretty easy for the other 2 of you to get over.
Well, I'm going to tell Alphonse, I'll be like, disconnect this. I'll whistle when you're ready to leave. Just don't look suspicious.
Okay, sure. So he's going to hang out in the back and wait for y'all's.
Yeah.
I
want him to have
there, twiddling his thumbs.
He has disconnected it, so if someone comes upon it, it doesn't look like he's actively tampering with the wall. And then I'm going to whistle.
For no reason. Yeah. Okay, sure.
And then I go up and over.
So yeah, now y'all are in the basic grounds. It looks, it's nicely tended. There's a couple of dead trees, because that's pretty much all that Doskvol has. As well as some statuary. There's rock. It's like a rock garden. A beautiful Zen rock garden.
Exquisite taste, that Penderton.
You can see there's no lights on in the house, and everything seems quiet. There's a couple of windows to different rooms. It's the front door.
Let's go through that front door, bruh.
You can't see into the estate from outside through the wall, correct?
The wall is 10 feet high. I about.
And it's not like a bar, like...
No, it's like a solid brick.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, let's go through the front door.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah. So no one looking in, no one could see you unless they were looking through the gate.
Okay.
Even then, I mean, this place is... They might be able to see you, but it's not a huge concern.
I feel like Echo
essentially.
takes time to take off the guy's shirt or jacket and just tie together his bootlaces and like
Nice.
use the jacket to like tie his arms together.
Why don't you dress up like him?
Or I dress
I mean,
up
we
like
could tie him up, but you could also wear his clothes and maybe his face.
Face.
I take his
Shoot, I have
face.
some, I have some Magni still in me. Okay, now maybe
Just
you
put
can
it
just
on
take
him.
his clothes.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be wearing like a uniform or anything. He's just kind of in
Okay.
basic workman's clothes.
So it wouldn't particularly help me in the first place.
yes.
All right, so
It's not like he
I
has
would
an
just
emblem.
disable him a little bit further.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I think y'all will need to roll to make sure you stay quiet. Like
Yeah. Do we want to do
nothing.
a
No
group?
one's looking for you
Yeah.
at the moment, but I mean, you never know what
Do you
could
want to do
happen.
group prowl?
Who wants to lead?
Do group.
I still have 0 prowl, so
Yeah. no,
Remember,
that-
leading just means you
leading
take
just
the
means
stress.
you take the stress, but I've already
I'll
taken
take the
3.
stress.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I have 2.
So you
What's our
all have to roll
position?
prowl. Your position's gonna be, I think, controlled standard
Okay.
because you had a greater effect on that last one.
Well.
Okay, so Sylph failed. That's 1 stress.
yay.
Oh, that sucks.
Sarah got failed.
That's just
Whoa,
pulling us
okay.
through with a success.
Duchess barely pulled it through with
Oh my god.
So I take
4.
1 stress.
You gotta take 2 stress.
2 stress.
2 stress.
2
That's
stress.
fine.
1 for yourself and 1 for
Sylph.
Sylph. And then now, so you were controlled standard. Let's see. So, as y'all, so y'all thought no one could see you going in, and I mentioned that potentially, someone could see you from the road through the gate if you went through the front door. And I think just as, let's say, Echo is kind of pulling up the rear and getting through, you kind of look back over your shoulder to check and make sure no one's kind of spying on you, and you do see a figure standing on the road kind of looking at the door curiously. And we're going to start at 4 o'clock. That is it's just going to say intervention.
Okay, I can start.
And
You
we'll
said
take
4 o'clock?
1 tick.
I have a plan for this. This is good. We're fine.
Okay.
This is fine. We're fine.
Sarah has a plan.
Okay,
All
but I
right.
mean, we can get through the door, though.
Yeah,
With
definitely.
the
So
key.
you've gone through the door. I think, yeah. So Sylph Echo gets through the door, but she's like, okay, I think someone saw us.
Mhm.
We should be careful. And inside, it's pretty dark. There's no lights on or anything. You see, it's just kind of a simple cottage. It's a pretty easy layout. There's stairs going to the 2nd floor. There's a kitchen as well as a sort of dining room and then a lounge area. All is
there,
very
like, a lantern I can
well-appointed
light?
and homely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So that's easy enough to find. Just in the kitchen, you see some of the supplies. It's surprisingly fancy. You're able to find an electric sparkcraft
I guess
lantern,
real quick,
and you can
is this
see.
a 1-room cottage, or is it like there's more we can explore?
No, it's multiple rooms.
Okay.
And at the moment, no one seems to be stirring.
Can I do, like, right as we get in, like, pause, listen, look around, make sure, like, I'm trying to do survey to make sure there's nobody else in this place with us? Like I don't hear
Yeah.
anything. Okay.
Definitely. Okay, sure. So you want to survey?
Yeah.
You're going to be risky standard. And
Well, that just won't do. I'll trade position for effect.
desperate greater. Especially
And
because
then-
now you've got your lantern.
Yeah. And then pushing yourself gives you an extra die?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Desperate greater bonus die.
And you can always ask for a devil's bargain.
I don't want one. Ugh.
I have a demon to
Nice.
kick off.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
ready for this. Wow.
6.
6. Okay. You kind of tiptoe through all of the rooms, and you're able to see that there is one more person that seems to be sort of sleeping on the couch, similarly dressed like the gentleman from outside, just kind of in workman's clothes. And he's not stirring at all, seems to be sleeping away just fine. And you don't notice anything else. Let's see. That is a really good roll on the grader. You can tell, you can also hear a little like shuffling upstairs as if someone was kind of rolling over in their sleep, not as if they were awake.
Okay.
So you can hear at least one other person. Yes.
Sylph,
Mm.
do you want to do a group ambush on this guy?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Or maybe
No
like,
problem.
or you could set me up, or I could set you up. If you want to tie him up, then I could just like cover his mouth real quick while you do that.
Yeah.
Either way, I think that would functionally be the same.
Are you strangling, suffocating him?
No, I just don't want him to like scream, like when he gets woken up by being
I mean, we do.
incapacitated.
How long does somebody has something that makes people sleep, right?
But it's just a normal
Duchess
sleep.
does.
Oh.
When he's already normal sleeping.
He's already normal sleeping.
We could also just hit him in the head with something heavy.
I mean, that seems like a great idea.
But I don't want him to
Scream. Yeah.
scream.
I mean, if you do it right, he won't. You know, probably won't
I mean,
be
we
too loud.
still, yeah, if you do it right, he won't. And also, we still have the silence potion, right?
Oh yeah.
But I feel like we should keep that on the
Keep
back
that, yeah.
burner.
I mean, we can just all try to knock them out together. I like that idea.
Another group action.
Yeah.
We're all in this
Okay.
I just want to
together.
use synchronized, but we have yet to.
It's yet to come up,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
What we could also just like wake him up with like a knife to his throat and be like, "Listen, we're gonna tie you up, and you're not gonna make a word, or you're not gonna make a sound."
That seems riskier. Maybe not.
Does it?
I vote knocking him plain out.
I feel like
I
Echo
feel
and
like-
I are better at talking than we are hitting people over the head with something.
Yeah.
I've got a 2 finesse. This sounds like it needs finesse.
I don't think it's finesse though.
Could let you, I mean,
Maybe.
I
You
could be
gotta hit him
persuaded
and
to
shove-
use
You're really
finesse.
good at command, though, aren't you?
Me? No.
No, none of us
actually.
have command.
I have one.
Oh yeah.
I have no command. I can sway and I can consult.
Oh, okay.
Or I kiss him with the, a trance powder. Kiss.
Mm.
And then
powder
he's
him.
we could trance powder him.
I
and
think
then
the
wake him
less
up.
people that see us is better.
But then we could also ask him where a secret thing is.
Or we can just find a secret thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'll be over here. You guys go do that. I'm not gonna dirty my hands with such brutish work.
You are the one who suggested it.
Yeah, I'm suggesting that
the other girls take care
the
of it.
henchmen take it out.
All right, so Echo and Sylph are like,
Okay, so do you want to do a setup or do you want to do a group action?
I mean, you could finesse to cover his mouth, and I could just try to knock him out. And that way, if he does end up trying to make noise when he gets knocked out, then we still got it.
Okay.
Because then you can finesse and I can prowl, and we both are trained in those.
Wait, before we do this,
Yeah.
can I have also scoped out, like with that roll on the grate, can I know where that person is and like go outside the door upstairs where they are?
Yes, you
Okay.
can. You go upstairs and you see there's about it's just a small kind of hallway. There's about 3 doors. You know, one's directly at the end of the hallway with the door kind of facing along the hallway, and the other 2 are kind of set up, I don't know, the other way.
Okay.
They're not like on the opposite ends. 2 of them are very close together though. One of them, the one that you heard the rustling from, is the one that's not directly on the end of the hallway but to the very right of it.
Okay.
You do see on the door at the very end of the hallway something is emanating light, a soft light from
There's
under
a
the door.
glow.
Yeah, there's a glow
Like from within the room? Or
from
like
within the
door?
room. There's a bit
Okay.
of glow coming out from the door at the very end of the hallway,
Okay.
but that is not the one that you heard the rustling.
Okay. Well, before I go, I'll say, give me 45 seconds, and then I'll scurry up there and I'll listen at the door to make sure that this person doesn't rouse while this
Okay.
is happening downstairs.
Cool.
All right.
All right. I'm going to ever so gently finesse my way over there and just the slowest of motions.
Try and kind of
Ever.
gag him while he's
Gag
sleeping.
him. Yes.
Okay. Sure. So that'll be, I think, controlled standard.
Okay.
Because Logan got that really good roll on survey. So you'll have to jump on him.
4.
4. Okay. So if you want, so there will be a consequence, a small consequence. Or if you want, you can take a different approach and try again. Still at controlled standard.
You can always resist the consequence too.
Tell me the consequence.
The consequence is tick 1 more on the intervention.
That's fine.
That's fine. We care not about intervention.
All right, so you get the gag in the way, but you think you hear some more noise coming from outside the house.
I'm just gonna baff him with my scarf rocks.
Your scarf rocks?
Yeah. I mean, they're like weighted
Okay.
on the ends. That's how I knocked the other guy out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So, what are you rolling?
Prowl?
Prowl. Okay. We'll put that at risky standard.
What benefit does Sarah give me?
Sarah, as a setup action, gives you either +1 effect or improved position. You can go risky great or controlled. You can be safer or you can get better effect.
We'll go risky great.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Perfect, a 6. All right. Sylph's inner hitman is just coming out. And she's nailing
He who
these
walks
knockouts.
in darkness.
Gave her some tips and tricks. Top 10 tips and tricks for knocking
She's
out
like,
your enemies.
go back to the darkness.
And does knock him out. And your greater effect is that you will find let's see.
Does he have anything on him that we can discover?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's gonna have on him 2 different things. He's gonna have a letter. One's like a scrabbled note And the note just seems to have like a list of sort of, it looks almost like dosages. It's like 20 grams of, eel oil, 10 grams of kind of
Mushroom powder.
mushroom powder.
Oh, no.
And it's kind of a fairly long list. There's like 7 different sort of ingredients and steps. And then on the second one, it's a letter, and it says, "It's good to hear that I'm glad to hear that she's in good health, and I look forward to visiting soon along with the doctor."
Is it signed?
Signed, Lord Penderton.
Okay. So like as I release my hands from his mouth and he like slumps over, the letters poke out of his jacket and I grab them and I like hold them up.
You can see them. Yeah, it's
to
true.
the-
You don't have the light.
to the ever-present reflective gloom of the hazy
Duskvol.
sky that is Doskvol.
You can just make it out.
Yeah, I can
you've
make it
grown
out, and I,
accustomed
like,
to
hand
reading
it
in the darkness.
to Duchess because I'm like, Duchess has the brains in this organization.
I'm upstairs.
She's upstairs.
Well, I creep up. We leave him and we go.
Okay.
Okay, you follow foot upstairs.
Okay. Wait, what do you want me to do with this? It sounds like you read it, right?
Figure out what it means.
I'm just like, you read this.
Okay.
I'm like, you.
Can I read it and see if I like anything
The
jumps
lantern,
off the
too.
page? Like it looks like they're talking about something and using like almost like a code, or if like I recognize what this would be a recipe for.
Maybe the letter does not seem to be coded.
Okay.
It just seems like
a normal letter.
Just a normal letter.
Okay.
And the recipe, yeah, you could definitely roll a fortune die, and we'll see how much you can tell from all this.
Can I study instead?
Do you feel like Duchess has a background in medicine?
She does have a background in poisons.
What's your study?
2.
Okay, just roll 2.
Okay.
We'll consider them fortune die, though.
Well,
okay, so all you can tell is that some of these are medicinal, or they can even be poisonous. The combination makes no sense to you.
I guess so the letter said, "I'm glad to hear she's in good health."
Yeah.
And I'm
I
wanting
look
to
forward
visit
to
her.
visiting her soon with the doctor.
Okay. Well, this is great.
Yes.
Echo, go in there and pretend to be the doctor.
I did.
Go in where?
The room with the sleeping woman. That's obviously who he's talking about, right? Go figure out what's wrong with her, who she is.
Echo's like, okay.
So are you
Shit.
just gonna walk in?
Give me a moment.
It is not a regular calling hour.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure you can figure something out.
Echo just goes like this, and she's like, okay. I have Find Disguise kit as one of my things.
Can I actually assist her with whatever role she's doing through a flashback of like seeing, I want to know like a doctor that Lord Penderton has seen in the past, or like someone
Someone you think he might have used?
Yeah. Or like a really pretty like maybe like an underbelly doctor, like not someone who would come at a normal hour.
This is gonna be really hard. This is going to be a 2 stress flashback to find out this information. In order to do.
I don't know
everything you
if I
wanna do.
need that because I get a bonus from being in disguise.
Okay, I won't do that then.
I get a 1d to confuse or deflect
Because
suspicion.
you wanted to try and like help her disguise as the correct person, right?
Not even like as the correct person, just like a doctor with unorthodox methods that would show up alone in the middle of the night.
Okay, I would let you do that for 1 stress.
Okay. What would that be? Like a consort roll?
So it would
Study?
be probably
Or survey? Okay.
is what I would guess, because you would have to watch like the comings and goings of
Yeah.
Lord Penderton's manor
Mhm. Okay.
to see if any specific doctors kind of come and go, maybe. Or, I mean, it depends how you want to go about it. You could try and like talk to people
Actually,
and
I
see
guess
if
when I
anyone in the criminal ring knows.
When I assist somebody, is that a roll or is that just I pay the stress and they get a bonus?
Assisting is you have to describe what you do and then you take the stress.
Okay, well, I want to assist her through the flashbacks.
Right,
So I would
so you're
take the
paying-
flashback cost.
You are going to have to pay a flashback cost, because
Okay.
sometimes flashbacks don't cost anything.
Yes, and then I get the assist for free
Free
through
because
foresight.
of your
So I'll just take
ability.
the 1 stress and assist her.
Yes.
Okay.
How are you going to find out this information?
Um,
Because that will determine you remember, you technically get to pick what type of role you do. It just has
Yes.
to match the fiction.
I want it to be. I don't want to study his estate. I want to like just. I feel like I would know the name of a shady doctor, just like that's someone Duchess would have come across in the past anyway.
Okay.
So just like pulling that out.
Yeah. Okay. You think she would just have that knowledge?
He like sells poisons on the side.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, well, I'll give you that for 0 stress then, because
Oh,
you do have a
okay.
contact that's a alchemist, don't you?
A chemist.
A
Really?
chemist. Yeah, I think you would have the connections to just know
Okay.
at least one, but it
Okay.
won't be a specific. Like it.
Yeah, it won't
The
be like.
likelihood of it being correct is very low.
Yes. I'll whisper this person's name to you then.
Okay, and so I'm pretending to be that person.
Yeah, and so
Sure.
you've kind of helped them so that her disguise matches this person.
Okay, so I have being a real person essentially is what this.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and so that gives me 1d.
That will give you plus 1d on your roll
Okay.
with this person. Though we don't know what you're rolling quite yet.
Okay,
Or
Echo
what we're
whips
doing.
off her jacket, turns it inside out, puts it on, shakes, does her hair different. Whew.
Puts on some quick
Suddenly she
makeup.
looks, yeah, she's walks differently, and basically, like has a bag that no one noticed this whole time.
Pulls out like a bone saw.
Some scalpels.
And like holds the bag and just like strides in to the door.
Okay,
and
yeah.
is
You
like,
open the door you do see a figure in the room, and she kind of rustles a little, but she doesn't get like I think she's kind of groggy. Like she's you see her eyes kind of flutter a little bit, but you don't like. She's not fully awake. She's kind of like,
okay,
and it looks like she might try and fall back to sleep.
okay. I approach the bed. I'm like, okay, I'm here, my dear. It's the doctor. Lord Penderton sent me. We need to check.
It's an older, like much older woman, like in her mid to late, probably like mid 70s. And she's got heavy lines, with kind of white hair, long white hair, and she kind of goes, the doctor, it's not time for a visit. And then when she opens her eyes, you see they are complete. almost completely white with cataracts.
Perfect.
Sitting prey. Oh my god, she's so easy to grab.
And she goes, "What? The doctor? You're not supposed to be here. It's not the right time."
And I'll just be like,
She starts going, "I don't understand. This isn't right at all." And you can tell she's starting to get more worried and concerned.
yeah, I think I'm basically like, there's nothing to worry about. Lord Penderton sent a note along. Things have been tense in the city, and we haven't been able to send someone over so openly these days. So I had to come under cover of darkness. He's worried about you and wanted to make sure that you were doing okay. Reassuring, calm voice.
Okay. Yes.
Hand
so
patting.
roll something.
Sway.
Sway to calm her down.
Yeah, I'm just like winning her to my side, and I'll be
Okay.
like, I know this is unusual, madam, but this is really just a routine check. There's no, we're just doing some
You missed your
tests.
yearly checkup, and so we just came knocking.
All right. So
Sway.
roll those dice.
Risky. What's my position?
Oh, that's a good question. Your position is going to be risky standard.
Okay. Do I want to trade position
Actually,
for effect?
I'm gonna say risky limited.
Then yes, you
For
definitely
reasons
want
you
to.
don't know.
Okay, I'm trading position for effect.
Okay, so now you're desperate limited. Desperate standard.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. I have one
Yes.
bonus die from being in disguise.
And one from Duchess's assistant.
Okay. Ba-da-da! Let's go!
Oh, a crit!
Crit!
Okay, that's one of our first in a long time. Okay, good.
I'm the most reassuring.
She kind of looks at you and starts to kind of get up, like push herself up, out of not out of the bed, but against the backboard, and looks and she's like, I mean, I'm touched that Lord Penderton cares about my health so much, but that's unusual. Are you sure you didn't make a mistake? I'm very confused, Doctor. She's next door. It's not me.
My dear.
Let me take you to her.
Yeah, that would be lovely. But Lord Penderton is, he does think of you too, being here alone with her all the time.
Oh, that's very sweet, darling. I appreciate it.
So you're doing okay? You don't
Is there
need
something
anything?
wrong with your voice? It's a little different today.
And I'm
she does get up though, and she starts kind of shuffling. You can see she has like everything laid out exactly, like everything has a spot so she can just find it.
Yeah. Okay. So following behind her.
And she kind of reaches in a door and pulls out a key.
We're listening at the door like we got
And she's shuffling towards the door. Yeah, like, let me take you over. This is such an unusual time, but did you really have to wake me, dear? It's so hard to fall asleep these days.
Oh, don't worry, I'll give you something for that. And maybe I'm like holding her arm, and I'm like, since your vision's not as good as it once was, so that you guys can hear me hinting to you that she can't really see.
Yeah, I think she is very focused, and she kind of comes out, but is like already looking towards the other door.
Okay.
And doesn't even sort of notice the two of y'all as part of that greater effect. And so this is the door that is glowing, by the way, with the light seeping out from underneath. And so she kind of she sort of feels her way to the knob real quick before finding the lock, and slowly pushes it open while following through. And inside, you see another older woman in her 70s.
So many old women, so little time.
So little time. This one looks very sickly, though. Her face is extremely gaunt. Her pallor, I mean, she's got a very sallow kind of color to her skin. It's even a little waxy. If you didn't know better, you might think she was already dead, or she is on death's door. This, though, is not the most interesting part of the room. What is most interesting is that she seems to be hooked up to a type of like IV bag, but the bag is glowing, and you can see that glowing
illegal.
sort of energy is going into her veins and seems to be pulsing with her heartbeat. And you can see it like traveling up her arm into her body and partially kind of up her neck. So she sort of has this ethereal kind of blue glow coming through parts of her skin. And she's hooked up to this machine. And there are a ton of alchemical concoctions strewn about the room in a somewhat haphazard manner. It basically looks like she's in a hospital room of a type. And on top of that, there is a large mechanical humanoid in the corner, which you realize is what's called a hull. And they are sort of advanced automatons.
So not only is she not the most interesting thing, she's actually the most uninteresting thing in this room.
She is the most uninteresting thing.
Okay, remind me, how much thought processing does a hull have? Like, am I able to sway them, or are they just like computers?
Hulls are machinery animated by a soul. So they have humanoid
Consciousness.
qualities, or they have consciousness, but it is always focused on certain goals. You do not necessarily know what this one's is.
Hashtag
very,
great.
very difficult to make.
Hashtag
muted,
very difficult,
muted.
very expensive. You're muted.
I'm gonna, seeing this, I'm gonna be like, I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go grab Alphonse.
You're gonna grab him?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna need to roll stealth for that.
Is it worth it?
I don't know.
Do you want me to go grab Alphonse?
Then you have
Yes.
to get Alphonse back, and he will be potentially a detriment.
Yeah, I feel like it's not worth it.
Okay.
I can tinker a little bit.
We've handled. I can wreck things. Worst comes to worst, I can wreck things.
Well, I'm gonna scoot into the blind lady's room then and just like be in there.
Okay.
Helpful.
The blind lady, who seems to be the caretaker, is slowly bringing Echo over to this woman lying on the lying in her sort of deathbed, almost, it feels like. And she says, of course the madam is here. I didn't you checked on her quite recently and said everything was looking all right. I'm just a little confused why you're here, but
Why
take
are
your
you so
time."
confused?
She has
I'm
no
like,
reason not
there's
to trust
nothing
you.
to worry about. We just, everything was fine, but Lord Penderton has had some trouble sourcing his materials lately, and so he wanted me to double check that everything was.
As y'all get to the bedside,
Lovely.
the automaton whirs to life.
Of course.
And it is vaguely humanoid. It, is not like a simulacrum. It's not kind of an exact copy of a human, but it's almost like a mannequin, like a metallic kind of mannequin style. You can see some of the machinery whirring underneath it. And you can tell there's sort of a core of energy that's sustaining it. And it kind of stands up, looks at everyone in the room, and is like, "Where is the doctor? Where is the doctor?"
And I'm like, boy,
Intruders, where is the doctor?
boy,
And
don't
it starts
you know I am the doctor?
advancing towards all of those in the room.
Okay.
The caretaker is very confused. She's like, "Parks, what are you talking about? This is the doctor."
And I'm like, oh,
If
I've
you do
heard
not do
sometimes-
anything, the automaton will probably do something bad.
Okay. Can I? I can sway this.
You
Can
can
I?
try.
I can try.
I'm gonna.
What would my effect be? My.
This is the great question. What
This
would
is
your
the great.
effect?
Hey guys, we
I'm
dropped the stream.
right.
We're back.
Sorry about that. Not sure exactly where we cut off, so I think we were trying to figure out what to do about this automated hull that is kind of menacingly advancing towards
The
Sylph
C-3PO.
and...
I'm not in the room.
Yes. You're not? Okay, I
Mm-mm.
wasn't sure.
I'm outside the room, so I can see in, but not
okay.
like, in. I'm just peeking around.
Then it is advancing towards the caretaker and Echo, who's and,
desperately racking her brain.
Duchess menaced that she was rummaging through the caretaker's room real fast.
Yes.
If you want to roll something,
Probably survey to find stuff, I'd imagine.
Sure. Yeah.
What is my...
I would say you're a risky standard. Yeah, I'm assuming you're using your lantern.
Yeah.
to find things.
Or was there a lantern downstairs that I brought upstairs, or do I need to mark a lantern on my gear?
I thought you brought the one from downstairs upstairs.
Okay, I'll have done that. Can I trade position for effect and so I'm opening up the lantern all the way so that it's pretty bright in this room?
For more light, definitely.
Yeah. Oh geez. And then I only have a 1. Is it worth it? Probably not, but that's fine. Oh! A 5!
Nice.
Woo!
Okay. You do it. But there's a consequence. You suffer severe
Yeah.
harm, serious complication, or you have reduced effect. So, rummaging through, you find a lot more letters, just kind of stashed in one of the drawers as a sort of holding place. I mean, she might be able to read them. She's very cataract, but it's not
They're
completely
in Braille, actually. The letters are raised.
I don't know. She might figure out. I believe in her.
Okay.
And you find a bunch of letters. You find a couple more keys,
Scoop.
about I would say 3 more keys, and yeah, I think that's about it. As for your consequence, I would like you to complete your interference clock.
I will. Can I resist that?
So here's the thing. Yes, I will let you resist, but it will only buy you a ticking clock now of extra time. Because technically you should take 3 ticks on a clock for a desperate roll, and that would be over your clock limit. So I will let you buy time.
Okay. Well, I can. What would I resist with? Maybe insight.
Yeah, it's
Like
gotta be insight.
Like I don't actually open the lantern all that much. So I'm like,
Or you're like, we've been in here long enough. I should be extra cautious.
yeah.
You've got it aimed well. Or I guess don't worry about the mechanics of the resistance.
Got it.
It's fine.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Okay, so
So-
you resist
No
that.
stress.
Great. Perfect. Well, that was fine. I'll stash all of that in my bag.
Okay. So you take all that stuff and clear out that interference clock, and we'll say we'll do a we're gonna do a 4 o'clock that's gonna slowly tick up at intervals, and we'll call that I'm gonna call it help arrives.
Like intervention arrives. Okay.
Intervention arrives.
Can I do a flashback to like hanging out with Alphonse and like prepping and like sharing information with him about the site, and then I have like I'll help or he'll help me or whatever. We'll together make like an EMP grenade that was supposed to be like a backup plan for if he was like couldn't get to the wall, they would still give us an out.
Okay, so interesting. So it's going to be a flashback.
I feel like that is an acquire an asset, but
It
he would be
sounds
able
like
to help
acquiring
you.
an asset. Yeah.
But didn't we already acquire him as an asset?
Yeah, so he
The
would be able to
grenade would
help
be the
her.
asset, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, the EMP would be the asset itself. Which I think you have to pay for.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. We like
Okay.
having family
I think
things.
that is a complicated one, so it'll take 1 stress for the flashback.
Yep.
Okay. Then it'll take a coin to do the
And then
ability
since
acquire
it's,
asset.
I think this would count under the part like restricted stuff, so it'd probably be +2 heat as well. Like there's some items.
Yeah, it is restricted, but I think because you have him,
I mean, he's also a criminal, so.
he is a criminal.
I think you get heat from restricted items if you're like purchasing them, but we're making it, right? So that's different.
Yeah, it.
I think it's just
don't
if
remember.
you
We haven't
acquire
done
the
a
asset.
ton of
That's why I
restricted
remember
items.
reading it.
I
Is
feel
that what
like
it
it
says
also
under
makes
acquire
sense
asset?
on like how if other people know we're using it, you know, like so if we're like blatantly wielding illegal things.
It does
Yeah,
say
you know-
it's if you take it or if you acquire it other than crafting it yourself.
Yeah. So the idea is they're making it themselves with his help.
Yep.
So for that acquire asset, I will let you roll Alphonse's tier
Okay, so 2.
for that. So that gives you 2 die for this asset.
Echo is silently praying to herself.
Yeah.
Wow, 6. Nice. So it's tier +1. So you have a tier 3
Wow.
EMP from Alphonse. Did you want to use it now, or are you holding on?
I'll hold on to it for now. I just wanted to have it.
Heads up, you can tell like her entire setup also
I know,
seems to
that's
be
what I'm
Spark
worried
Craft.
about, yeah.
Yeah. So like she's hooked. I mean, the most interesting thing is she's hooked up to that IV, but she has other sort of mechanical things that seem to be attached and checking on her.
Okay.
The automaton is advancing.
But Echo would also know that we had this.
Yes, as a backup.
So, yeah.
I am going to wake up the patient in the bed.
Okay, sure. So you just go
And
over
I'm
and
gonna, as she's,
give her a little shake, or
as I wake her up, I'm gonna use my doctor's voice, and I'm gonna be like, here it's time, it's time for some additional medicine, and I just give her some trance powder straight into her mouth as she wakes up, and see if that works.
Okay. So what?
Because I don't want to kill this lady by disabling her spark craft.
You could just run out of the room and we could throw it at him in the hallway.
We don't know how.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
it's a
I would
tier
assume
3.
the blast would be pretty
Yeah.
big, to be honest.
I'm assuming
least,
the
like,
house.
Just start doing CPR on
pretty
her.
big. Okay, give me 1 sec. So you,
I feel like this is a finesse situation.
yeah, it does seem like a finesse situation. So you're trying to get the trance powder to her.
So yeah, basically I decide to ignore the Hull, who I've quickly assumed that I cannot have any
Yeah, I imagine you like
persuasive
move to the
power.
other side of the bed for me.
and I'm like, here you go, dear. It's time for your medicine. Like, just shake her
Okay,
gently and
you
like
kind of
pour
you
into
get her up
mouth.
and she's kind of groggy. She seems very like out of it. She's not coherent at all.
Mhm.
So you still will need to roll finesse to see if you can get her to take the medicine.
Do I get +1d because I'm in disguise and I seem more trustworthy? Like, it's to deflect suspicion and what was the other one? To confuse or deflect suspicion.
No, only because I think the problem is not she is so out of it.
She doesn't
She doesn't know what's happening. The problem is that you have to get her to physically take it and like consume it.
Okay.
So I think that's why the finesse. This isn't about deception. It's about just the physicality of making sure she consumes it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well.
Which you are desperate standard because there's an automaton advancing on you. I will give you this piece of information.
Okay.
As you're doing this action, you see she has a locket, and it looks like a family portrait is on the locket.
Can I tell who it is immediately, or I'm just like...
Yes, you can tell it's Lord Penderton when he was younger, and then this
His
lady.
poor mama, now a Franken mama.
And a father. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Push yourself?
push myself.
You want a devil's bargain?
You might as well hear it.
Yeah, let's just throw it my way.
That I didn't have one in mind. I just wasn't sure if you wanted one or not. Let's see.
The devil that we soon will have a bargain with appears.
Let's see. This happens no matter what. Unexpected visitor is going to arrive.
That sounds bad.
So check on this scene.
Yeah, I feel like I don't care. So what was my position again?
Desperate.
Desperate.
Standard.
Yay.
Ooh.
Pushing myself for 1 extra die. Yes.
Wow.
Oh.
Crits again.
It's so
God.
good.
I am on fire. This never happens.
Very, very lucky.
Okay. I get to a level of nirvana and super focus under pressure.
You have assumed the doctor's persona.
Yes.
Okay, so you give this
doctor.
woman the trance powder. She does take it just fine. You're able to, you've you've dealt with the sickly before, so you know certain tricks to get them to take their medicine. And so she consumes the trance powder, and you can see already that she's very confused. I mean, she was already very confused, but she's more placid and kind of asks you almost for direction. But you're very surprised to hear a name that you haven't heard in a very long time. And so this woman looks at you and she says, Dr. Solend, what am I doing next? And suddenly you notice, Echo, that all of this technology reminds you of the tech that your family was very invested in, and the sort of empire that they have wrought out of medical uses for this sort of ether.
Okay, I definitely twitch.
She twitches.
She's like, ugh.
Your advantage for the crit is going to be that the caretaker is currently dealing with the automaton and keeping it away from you and trying to explain and get it to off your case. But it is still there as a threat. We'll also take 1 on our advancing clock.
I think that's on Logan's.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep track.
Okay. So I'm like, yes. What do I want to do? What is it? I guess I think in that situation, I'm just, when I hear her mention my real family's name, I'm just like, who? I'm like, what?
You feel a sinking sense of dread.
Yes. I'm like,
as well as
Dr.
rage.
Solend. Yeah. I'm like, you know, it's been a long time, my dear. How long have you been, how long have you been with us again? And I guess she's in trance powder, so I don't really need to like convince her anymore.
Yeah. I'm thinking of her response. She kind of says, "Oh, I can't keep track of the years very well, but it's been a while now. You're the latest doctor with the best results. Though my arm just aches so terribly."
And I'm like,
And she kind of rubs a little at the one that's got the ether flowing through her veins.
Okay. As the automaton totally, I think I'm just like, reassure your automaton that I'm the latest doctor. Like, call off your automaton.
Yeah. Okay. She kind of limply looks over at the automaton and she says, "Vax, sleep." And then it says, "Yes, madam," and kind of goes back to its corner and turns itself off again. And the caretaker's like, "Oh man, it was really in a tizzy today. I never liked those things. Just
must have had a circuit."
Unreliable. Nothing like a good old person to keep track of what's going on. Isn't that right, dearie?" And she kind of pats Mrs. Penderton's.
Do we know, like, are holes common? Not common, but are they like general knowledge that they exist?
Yeah.
Do they normally have like keys to turn them on and off?
They're incredibly varied, so they can be all sorts of different ways. Some of them are human, some of them are animalistic, some of them are more like transport, cargo, like modes of transport. The only main thing that unifies them, besides maybe what a manufacturer, what the certain spark crafts might have, like a certain trait or tell that shows who it's made by. But the only other thing that combines them is they have like a sort of central energy core that is powered by a spirit.
What did she call it? What was its name?
Vax.
Is one of the keys labeled like Vax? On-off
No.
key. Okay.
We're looking for like an anti-vax.
Well, he's asleep right now.
He's asleep. Okay,
He's
also
been
just
taken care of.
we're definitely kidnapping this woman, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, good. Just so we're all on the same page.
Echo is feeling very protective towards this old woman right now.
Echo, we will take you out. Okay.
Take one more on your clock.
Okay, well, with this, I'm just gonna stroll into that room.
Yeah, we're at 2.
I'm gonna stroll into the room with the lady and the other lady, and I think I'll just say, like, well, we best be going, and then I'm just gonna, like, hit the blind woman in the back of the head to try and knock her out.
You could have just given her a whiskey.
Okay. So
I could do that. That might make more sense.
all right. So you're gonna sleep the caretaker?
Well, I mean, I'll just like jingle my bottle where Echo can see it.
And I'll take it and I'll be like, here's a tonic for your nerves, my dear. I know, and something to help you go to sleep. I know you've had trouble with that these days.
Oh, thank you, dearie. And then she kind of downs it. She's like, "Whoa, what's that? It's been a long time since I've had a whiskey, but I used to be able to throw them back in my day. Whew, you said this would make me fall asleep."
Echo catches her and like puts her up again and like pats her head. All right, and I'm like, I look at the Lady Penderton, Senior,
Madam Penderton.
Madam Penderton Senior, and I'm like, oh, Madam, we are going to have to go. You don't have to be worried. We're just going to take you to the best facilities where you will be safe and secure. So come, let me carry you. Like, she can't move, can she?
She is completely bedridden.
Yeah.
How much stuff is attached to her?
I don't know if we can kidnap her.
Like, she has the IV bag, and then you said there were other things hooked up to her, like...
There's other sort of, mechanical... It's like she has something around her wrist that seems to be measuring her heartbeat.
Okay.
She has a couple things, like, strapped to her chest that are
but she's not, like, on a ventilator.
No, she's not on a ventilator.
Okay. Well...
The most important thing seems to be the IV.
Okay.
She says, "Oh, well, if that's what you deem best, it is
I'll pop
hard
my head
to
in.
move me."
Oh, doctor, are we ready to transport the patient?
"I'm sorry, dear, but I can't walk anymore, so..."
We have the wheelchair ready.
I said, yes, do come in. I'm like, you've always wanted to see, the outer city, the great central city, haven't you, my dear?
It has been a very long time.
And I'm like, yes.
Doskvol's probably a totally different city now.
Yes. And I'm like, yes, it is. And I look around and I just like grab what I think is important from this room. And like,
Is there like an extra IV available? Like empty one?
No, you don't see an extra one here. The one she has is fairly full, though.
Okay, is there like... whatever. I'm just gonna stroll up to her and be like, okay, we're gonna give you something to help make this easier, and then I'm gonna pour like half the whiskey bottle into her mouth. Not half, but like enough to get her drunk. But knowing she's an old woman,
She's already
I'm not
under
trying to kill
trance.
her.
She's already
Oh,
under
she's under
trance,
trance.
Potter.
How long does that last?
Not
I
that
think
long.
like an hour. Or...
Yeah, an hour.
Oh.
It definitely hasn't been an hour because intervention would have arrived.
Okay.
No.
Okay, then yeah. I'll just start coming. I'll start unhooking things too.
Okay.
And I'm like, you tell me if you feel badly right away, okay?
So, doctor, we need to go now.
Yeah, I was
quickly.
gonna say. So the
Yeah.
intervention's gonna tick up one more, and then
I'm like, to the gondola.
What are we
gosh,
doing?
I don't even know. I'm gonna
I
say.
don't know.
How are y'all carrying her?
I can carry her to the
Just
gondola.
Over your shoulder.
I mean, at this point, I feel like we just go out the front gate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
You
can't
can't
haul her over a wall.
Jump over a wall.
The electrified front gate.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure you
okay,
can
we have
open
a-
it from
we
the
have keys.
inside.
Also that.
Mm.
We have a key.
We do have a key. Maybe it's for the gate.
We knocked
Okay,
the guy out and tied him up.
Okay, so
While they're
Y'all-
doing that, I want to dig around the house, like search to see if I can find where they stored these extra IVs. Because if the doctor's not supposed to come that often, there's got to be some somewhere.
okay, yeah. Will you roll a? What do you want to roll?
Survey?
Yeah, that's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna put you at risky
Position?
standard.
Cool. I'll push myself. Yeah,
Y'all are cutting it close.
I know. 4.
4. Okay, so looking around, you don't really see anything on the top floor. You open up the one door that you open up the one door on the second floor that you hadn't been in. It's just another bedroom. And going downstairs, you kind of look through everything and you notice it seems to be that there are tracks leading to one of like sort of there seems to be an unusual amount of like traffic and scuffs that seems to have gone to one of the like back chairs in the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And fiddling around with it, you see that if you move it, if you can kind of finagle the chair out of the way, underneath there's a hatch that seems a locked hatch that leads somewhere. It's also hiding under a rug. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll just pick
Here's
that
3
very
keys.
quick. Well,
Oh,
I can
okay.
just pick it.
You can
I
pick it.
don't think you're going to have time to pick it and explore it.
Here's 3 keys.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. One of the keys works. Are you going to go down into it? If you go down into it, help will arrive. Intervention will arrive.
I have
So
so
do
much
we think
stress
it's-
left.
Do we think it's an extra escape route, or do we think it's just a storage?
I mean, the doctor was not seen coming and going, so probably an escape.
That's true. Unless the doctor was who showed up in the carriage.
Okay, we have underground maps and pass keys. Are there like tunnels underneath Barrowcleft?
Do a fortune roll.
Echo is now.
No. This is one of the areas that, due to all the farm work, there's less sort of underground rubble available. Happening. I don't know. Whatever.
No, I won't go down there. That's fine.
Okay. So you found this trapdoor, and you do have the keys to it,
Yeah.
but you have not entered. Okay.
I'll
So-
put it back like how it was too, so it's good.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so y'all get her downstairs and to the door. You open the door. It looks like people are coming towards the front entrance from the street.
Who are people? Like, can I see?
You can see they look like toughs, like some gang members or something. Like they look like people ready for a fight.
Wait, and you said they're coming to the gate or they're coming to the door?
They're coming to the gate.
Yeah,
Okay, so the
gate's
gate
here.
is
You can
still
see
locked.
like a group of like 8 people approaching
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of
to
people.
the door.
All right, she's
or to
still
the
under
gate.
trance. I would be
She's
like,
still-
how?
You still have time,
Yeah, I would be like,
but not much.
So, like, we
Madam-
probably can't go through the gate, though, is what you're saying.
Not unless
Okay.
you want to try and outrun them with a sick woman.
Okay, how about you get her to the back and I'll distract this for enough to you to get away.
I'm just gonna ask her real quick. I was like, is there any other way out besides the front gate, madam? Do you know how you've been getting your deliveries?
She doesn't know. She is so out of it.
All right, so now I'm giving her a piggyback, and you're dealing with the toughs.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll say whistle when you want to get through the gate or through the over the wall.
How
That's
are we
not
getting this
delicious.
old woman
How
over
are
the
we getting
wall?
her over the wall?
I mean, just check climbing gear on your.
We're gonna do a pulley system.
I'm sure climbing gear contains a rope. Tie her to a rope and throw it over.
Oh my god. What if we just pretend like we're taking her for a walk and then just like get the people to go away?
Yeah.
See, I don't think we're gonna be able to just get them to go away, though.
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick. They're walking closer.
So
They can probably see her glowing IV.
Just go. Take her
Yeah.
around and get her
Echo
out.
and I will just go around the back.
Yeah.
And Duchess
Alright.
will go deal with the thugs, I guess.
Perfect. Okay, so
I'm
here's how this
so
is going to work
nervous.
out. Here is exactly how all of this is going to work out.
How much we want to bet these are foghounds?
So,
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
Sylph and Echo,
Yeah.
you guys quickly beat a path around to the back.
Yeah.
Alphonse is still there, and I guess you whistle to him
Yeah.
to let him know, and he starts setting up the mechanism to get you through the electric gate. Duchess, you approach the gate as this group of 8 people also approaches the gate. Once within view, you clearly recognize 3 people that you'd hoped you'd never see again. One is a big, burly man you've encountered a couple times now. The other is kind of a small, shrewd-looking man with gold teeth. And the last is a lady with a tricorn admiral's hat
Oh, I
and a
forgot
death
she had a
stare
stupid hat.
that
A
could
mile long.
send a ghost into the ether. Standing across from you is the leader of the Foghounds. Margaret raises a gun towards you and says, "Give me one good reason not to shoot you right now, and we're going to cut it there." Thanks for joining us, folks, on this episode of Blades in the Dark.
When we steal an old lady from her deathbed.
We're really in it now, guys.
Oh, but I love her so much.
She is completely innocent. I will give you that.
Well, we
All
have
right.
all of the leverage, aka this old lady, so I think
Yeah.
we're good.
We just gotta keep her alive.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
lose the
That's the
leverage
hard
if she dies.
All right. Well, yeah, we don't have to do downtime or anything like that because I think we'll finish this up.
Do we still mark
Next.
XP for this session, though?
I think yes.
Yeah,
I
we
think
should
XP
probably do it
session,
session by
not-
session because we had trouble remembering it earlier
Yep.
too.
Yes.
What? We have trouble remembering things.
So yeah, that never happens. We always remember everything perfectly. Crew advancement. Yeah, at the end of each game session. So did you activate your crew-specific XP trigger?
We
I think you have to
didn't
successfully
execute
complete.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, you haven't completed yet. Contend with challenges above your station. Yes. Above your station. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. I'm gonna say no. Maybe if you finish this.
Yeah.
It's about to call it a quest. This heist.
I'm
Okay.
lobbying for this grandma to live with us in the tower from now on.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the
I
group.
feel like there was some inner conflict between everybody and Sylph.
What?
And
Because you were just gone and you didn't want to tell us why.
Yeah, that's true.
And you didn't let me
Let's
poke your
put
face.
let's put a little, I don't know, come back to this, because I think if y'all play it up, if you play up the conflict, I will give it to you, because I think the conflict is there. But you might have to aim for it next session.
Okay.
Get you some conflicts.
I mean, I think there's going to be conflict if we try and hurt the old lady.
Yeah, I think there will be conflict over the old lady, so that could be interesting too.
Because Echo is hardcore identifying.
Did y'all all mark your desperate rolls, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, just double check. So, did you do your playbook specific XP trigger, which is different for all of you?
Mine is stealth or evasion, which I felt like I did a lot.
Yes, I'll give you one for that. And
Mine is deception or influence.
which I'll give you that.
Calculation or conspiracy?
Conspiracy is so hard, but calculation you do a lot.
Yeah.
Conspiracy is hard.
Yeah.
Conspiracy is challenging.
Conspiracy is so narrow and calculation is so broad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like, I
that's
guess
the-
if you're thinking of the broader term of like, we are all conspiring together, like we are a conspiracy in a sense. But
I
if we're
just use
thinking,
conspiracy as if I can turn somebody against somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how I've been interpreting it.
Like
Calculations when I
conspire.
do a bunch of planning beforehand, which is all of my flashbacks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yes, I'll give that to you. Okay, express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I would give that to Sarah, potentially. Just because it relates to...
Yeah.
Sylph is being more open about being Tycherosi.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Logan, you got an argument in your favor?
I tried to get by in the state.
Okay, nope, we're done. Okay, struggle with issues from your vice or traumas. I don't think those really came up.
I think that will happen next time
Yeah.
for me, though. If we had the old lady.
Okay, so that is everything for XP, and I think that is all we have to do for end of
Cool.
session.
Easy.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Next week should be Iron Sworn, and then after that, we'll be doing Blades again, like usual.
Oh my gosh, we've left off on some pretty big cliffhangers for both of them.
I know.
We do. We have a lot. We've got a big journey ahead of us.
Iron
in
Sworn just turned
Iron
into an
Sworn.
epic journey to stop evil.
Pretty much.
And this is an
And-
epic journey to be evil. So.
Duskvol is, Blades in the Dark is kind of falling. The carefully constructed plans are falling apart quickly,
As they do.
as they do.
I
It's
think
part of the
everything's
fun.
going swimmingly. We're kidnapping an old woman.
It was okay. Y'all did really good. You rolled 2 crits.
Yeah, really. I mean, Sarah's
top
rolls
of-
were on point, yeah.
Like a lot of other 6s, so
Yeah.
y'all did roll very good.
I mean, I didn't really need to make rolls. Sarah was just.
Well, you guys rolled it first because I'm not good at sneaking. Like, I
Yeah,
can't.
That's true.
I couldn't really do any pre-work.
I knocked 2 men out. That's all
It's
I
just
can
if you
do.
let Sarah sway, just expect a 6.
Yeah, I mean, she gets like a billion dice.
A billion
so,
die, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have
gotta be good at
3
something.
I have 3 sway dots. That's
Nice.
why.
It's worth it. It's good.
But you
all
tried
right.
to get me with that hole, Sean.
I did.
You
I
tried.
did.
I'm just
You know, I
excited
could've-
about my EMP.
I could have made that hole a lot harder.
Oh,
You
I'm
could
sure.
have.
I wasn't originally planning on the hull being able to be controlled by her.
Uh-huh.
I was actually thinking it was going to be the doctor's hall, but we'll pretend it's hers.
It was going to be the what?
The doctor's
hall.
So
Well,
couldn't be controlled.
Clearly,
by
none
her.
of that machinery was required because she's still alive and she's down here. So
We have a lot of it with us, I imagine.
She's alive for now.
she's more alive than she's ever been. She's free. She's leaving. She's a wild spirit. She can't be contained.
Yeah, she is a wild spirit
But
at heart.
let us not forget the real point of this whole mission, which is to make Lord Penderton leave town.
Well, that's easy if we have his mom
Have his
at
mother, yeah.
gunpoint.
Yeah, I'm gonna show up to his estate with her locket and be like, "It's best that you take this Leviathan ticket and leave town."
But what happens to the mama?
Oh, he can take her. Probably.
She
Maybe.
only got one IV. We have a mysterious list of ingredients. Maybe that will help us.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't your family a doctor, apparently?
Ugh,
There's something.
my family makes me very unstable.
Oh, this is you stable.
Yes.
All right. Well.
I just start hitting things. It doesn't.
That sounds bad.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks then to resolve this most pressing situation that has arisen, and look forward to seeing you next week too, hopefully, so we can figure out about our new epic battle to save the universe. Just the little things.
Just the little things.
It's just about the little things in life. We also hope everyone's doing okay out there
Yeah,
with all the
stay
craziness
safe.
happening in the world. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we hope we can make it just a little bit better in these trying times. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.